as you've gone through this book and you've written it out, you talk about these 5 categories. What are these 5 or principles as a way forward for all of us to integrate faith and work?
Yeah. So this is, the nut of the book is these kind of 5 core ideas. The first is seek deep spiritual health. And this is the context of a lot of our conversation, right? It is actually to seek to live in the depths of the kingdom in the moment by moment. The second is think theologically, is how do we, and this is very much the new begin, how do we fit everything inside the biblical story, whether that be our work or community or whatever it might be. The third is embrace relationships. God himself is relationship, and actually workplaces and workplace culture and the norms that get set up there, they're all relational in nature, as well as how we interact with our boss, with our coworkers that work for us, as well as with our family. Like, how we do relationships with others is really, really critical to living out the life of faith, I think, to everybody. The fourth is create good work, and that's sort of the probably the most common aspect of the faith and work movement, is talking about the work itself is important because work serves the needs of others, right? Whether you're an architect or whether you're an electrician, like, do good work because it's a reflection of God's own work and creation. And then the fifth is serve others sacrificially. And this is sort of engagement with culture, rather than sort of a conquest or a triumphalistic vision. How do we engage in our society as sacrificial servants, right? And particularly if Christians find themselves in places of influence or power, how do we give that away for the well-being of others? So I think everything from a trucker that serves others sacrificially by doing the route and caring for their family and doing a good job when they don't have to, right, to somebody that works at a foundation that's working on social issues in a city. I think that way of seeing our engagement with culture as a sacrificial servant is an incredibly important way to engage with culture. So that's just sort of our language for holistic discipleship. And the concept of working from the inside out is that let's not first look at the external impact or what we're doing out in the world, right? It's actually continually a process of going back to your interior world, seek deep spiritual health, think theologically, that then moves its way out into your exterior world, which is embrace relationships and create good work, that then finally moves its way outward to our civic world, which is what I talk about with serve others sacrificially. So that's what working from the inside out is. How do we do this work in an interior way that then moves its way out, that doesn't get maybe stuck in navel gazing, because the issues of the world and our society, they matter deeply because people are involved in those, and there are systemic sin, there are those issues as well. But the way in which we show up to those, are we doing that as those people that are deeply filled, or that are unfilled and have a need? There's one quote from Bernard of Clairvaux, I'll paraphrase it, that I put in the book, but it's been really helpful for me. It's saying, do we show up to life more as reservoirs or canals?
Canals, yeah.
Yeah, and the reservoir concept is there's a ton of water, right, in it, and a small amount of water can be taken out of it without diminishing the reservoir. But so many of us live our lives like canals, that whatever we receive on Sunday when we go to church, it's gone on Monday. Or maybe like my family, it's gone when you're on the minivan drive home with all your kids and we're angry at each other coming home from church, right? But we live our lives as canals, as we take in and we're gone, and we're just depleted. But Bernard of Clairvaux said, let's not try to be more generous than God. Let's actually become more like reservoirs, that we have so much of the life of God that there is going to be stress and difficulty and pain in our life. This is just the human condition. But when we do that, then we can show up to our communities and our workplaces and our society as people filled with the life of God, and there's still more left over. This is the bread and the loaves, right? There is immensely more in Jesus, right? And so that's the concept, is living and engaging our society as people in a missionary, encounter, yet doing so from a very whole interior place, and just deciding to be, I want to be on that journey. I want to be honest with myself and grow in that area.